I'll discuss about an analytical approach to alarm bell for preserving the disaster-prone sensitive zones of Himachal and Uttarakhand. The Himalayan region is part of mountains located in India, acting as water tank on top, sprawling its stretches across 2,500 kilometers of 13 states like Himachal, Uttarakhand et al. Streaming of Hole Ganga and Jamuna, the lifeline in the states. The latent severe threat of landslides, earthquakes, inundations, etc., and the formation of over 7,500 glacial lakes, which includes over 2,000 gigantic size of over 10 hectares each, are the severe cause of concern of the area. The research studies using satellite rainfall data, flood mapping, landslide detections on Google Map engine revealed that during June-July alone, the rainfall in Himachal and Uttarakhand had been abnormally 195% and 95% respectively, besides lot of tectonic activities in deep earth jeopardizing the peoples living on hills, having sleepless nights in tension. Now the multi-million questions arises. Only nature's western disturbances are attributable to this series of disasters in Himachal and Devbhumi, that is Uttarakhand. My short answer is no. Before it's too late, it's not just a wake-up call, rather an eloquent alarm to stop intervention in nature. The Uttarakhand and Himachal geography is a key reason of being so disaster prone. The state lies on the southern slopes of young Himalayan mountains ranges, having history of its formation just a few million years ago through ongoing tectonic activities. The unprecedented 765 events of heavy to very heavy rainfall in comparison to 505 in 2024, which includes lashed Himalayan ranges triggering landslides and flash floods. The principal attributions are human activities. That is, if we go on counting on fingers, the construction in the name of development, as the report says, that over 1,000 houses in 5 districts have developed wider cracks damaged attributable to various activities such as ongoing 135 kilometer railway project to be completed by 2026, having big bridges, 17 tunnels, which include one tunnel of 15.1 kilometer long. Another factor is road building in hills, cuttings disturbing the natural hill terrains. The deforestation cannot be minused. This is the major factor, that means arbitrarily removing root binding of hills. Now the geographical factors are concerned: weak rock formations, steep terrains. The seismically weak hills are led to bear extraordinary load of inordinate constructions of roads, buildings, bridges, power projects, catalyzing more and more vulnerability with alarming bells pacing towards doomsday. For example, the weight of a single story house is about 150 lb per cubic feet, or say 1000 square feet weight about 1,50,000 pounds, or roughly you can say around 75 to 100 tons. The magnanimity can just be imagined. The weight stress on terrains of hills having rail tunnels, big hotels, bridges, quarrying, roads infrastructure, and unplanned urbanization infrastructure, especially on the seismically sensitive zones in the hill where earthquakes are very normal phenomena. The attributions like western disturbances are also there. The rise in day temperature on and off when there is torrential rains in the hills, and the air parcels carry moisture depending on the frequent temperature change. The rise of even 1.5 to 2 degrees centigrade increase moisture holding capacity by 3 to 4 times over sensitive hilly terrains of Uttarakhand and Himachal, and these moisture parcels are forced to rise rapidly as they encounter the hill peaks. The rapid upward motion causes cooling and condensation, causing intense rainfall, thus making the mountains more vulnerable in comparable to plains. Now I'm concluding here. We should not forget, rather take lesson from the unprecedented event of June 2013, paralyzing the life over 70,000 people because of damaged block roads, besides loss of vulnerable lives and property in the vulnerable region. Now again rang alarm bell to restrain from faulty global and consumerist approach in the name of development of tourism in the fragile terrain and on the riverbeds of the hill states, as termed by certain NGOs and environmentalists. Now, the International Center for Integrated Mountains Development, Kathmandu, Nepal, advised the governments to develop the warning systems to bridge the gap between science and society for effective disaster management. In the last, not the least, I must mention that effective implementation of disaster management techniques in the hills of Uttarakhand and Himachal will help a lot not to touch the Richard scale's highest peaks. Thank you so much.